haven't had coffee yet, and this is all just natural. So for those who had coffee, we should say good morning. Good morning. Awesome, great. My name is Jason Falk. I have the pleasure of serving as Dean of Admissions here at Longwood University. This is my third year at Longwood. I came all the way from Texas to join the Longwood team. So that's a testament of that community that we talk about, that field that we talk about, and hopefully you can get a sense of that today. Today is all about you, and you, not being the parents, we do love you, we support you in the support that you give us to support your students, but this is about your child, this is about the student. For us, it's super important that they feel at home here. And I know that's kind of a cliche term, but at Longwood, we take it to heart. There's many things that we do to make every student feel special here, and make every student feel at home here. I always like to say that you don't have to change to be a Longwood student. You come and be yourself, and we will help you to get to that next level, whatever that next level is for you. To my right, to your left, I have an amazing team over here. Hey, y'all. How's it going? These are the admissions counselors. These are the folks that you will work with as you work through the application process, as you work to decide where's your home fall 2020. We hope that it's Longwood, but for us, again, it's really, really, really important that you understand that fit. That fit is not only, do we have your major, the fit can be, are we affordable? Is it close enough or far enough away from home? Okay? Let's be honest, whatever your reason is, we really want you to take today to explore why Longwood is a great opportunity. We will have a lot of things to share with you. We know you will have questions. We have several ways for you to get your questions answered. The team will be out and about all throughout campus today doing the entire event. But if you have a quick question and just want a quick answer, take out your smartphones really quickly. I'm going to give you your phone number. This is a text phone number you can text all your questions to, and we have individuals working behind the scenes to answer all your questions. I'll let everybody pull out their smartphones or flip phones, whichever one. There's no judgment. We are all inclusive here. That number is going to be 434-207-6514. Again, 434-207-6514. And if you are like my mom in the crowd, you probably are just on that first 7, so I'm going to say it one more time. 434-207-6514. You can use that today throughout the entire enrollment cycle. We actually will connect you with your admissions counselor as well, so that way the person who is answering your question is also the person that will probably be reviewing your application, the person that you saw at your school, the person that you will see in your community. For us, relationships are super important. So again, today is about you, the student. We want to make sure you can see yourself here on campus. Keep in mind that campus is a little quiet, a little bit more quiet than normal because we have students who are on fall break. The university is actually closed on Monday and Tuesday, so it's a little quiet. But if you come back any other weekend, there's a bunch of things that are going on campus. So you have several opportunities throughout the enrollment cycle to come back and see us when we're in full blossom. We also have several programs that we do. Aaron Sims, hi Aaron. Aaron is our event coordinator. He puts on great events for you throughout the year. So if there's something specific that you did not get a chance to see while you were here today, please let us know and we can make that happen for you. Without further ado, I will stop talking and pass it over to the amazing Aaron Sims, who will take it from here. Come on up, Aaron and team. You can clap, it's okay. There we go.
Thank you, Jason.
What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling today?
Good. My name is Aaron Sims, as Jason pointed out. I'm the Special Programs Counselor here at Longwood University. I'm also a 2017 graduate of Longwood. I was a kinesiology major, so anybody interested in that field, come holler at me. I'd be happy to talk to you. But I'm going to pass the mic down, and I'm going to let everybody else introduce themselves as well.
Hi, everybody. My name is Seth Fisher. I am the Central Virginia and Southside. Anybody from Central Virginia or Southside here, y'all? Okay, y'all can make some noise. Come on now. All right, y'all. So I've been here. This is on my third cycle. So if y'all do have any questions, please stop me. If you're Central Virginia or Southside or anybody, I'm here to help in any way.
All right, if you're from Richmond, let me get a, oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay. My name is Emily. I am the territory manager for Richmond. Raise your hand if you were in here playing trivia with me earlier. Yeah, you guys are in here. So I went over with them. I'm the fun one. So if you weren't here earlier, I'll say it again. I'm the fun one. Nice to meet you guys.
Hey guys, I guess I'm the second fun one. But my name is Kira. I manage the Northern Neck as well as Southwest Virginia. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I am also a Longwood alum. I actually just graduated in May, so this is my first recruitment cycle. And I love all of you guys, but I especially love my kiddos, and I'm glad you're here today.
Sweet. Hi everyone, my name is Maria Reynoso. Like Kira, I am an alumni. I just graduated in 2019. I also manage the Northern Virginia area, Baltimore, Maryland, and all of DC. Yay! Good morning. You all already met me earlier. I'm Cheyenne. Let me get a hey Cheyenne. Hey Cheyenne. One more time. Hey Cheyenne. Now you're gonna remember my name. So I manage the Tidewater and Eastern Shore area. Shout out to 75. We're the True Fun group in 757. And I graduated from Longwood in 2016. I was a sociology major. I have a pre-law concentration and an English minor.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Hi everyone, my name is Walid. I'm the transfer counselor here, and I'll be the presenter for the first presentation. So I'm so excited about it. Thank you all. I can start. But before I get started, I would like to ask you, how you all doing today? You good? Well, I'm a little bit nervous. Yes. I have to be honest with you. I just feel nervous before giving any presentation. And today, not because the president of the school is back there, or the dean of admission is also back there. No. I just feel nervous before any presentation. Until one time, I decided to do something about it. I was like, you know what? I have one of my co-workers / friends, and I was like, you know, he's good at this. I will go ask him for advice. So I went to him, I was like, hey Seth, you are going to give him a presentation. I have the presentation coming up, and could you please advise me on it? I feel a little bit nervous about it. And he said, Walid, he looked me in the eye, and he said, Walid, don't be nervous. For a millisecond, I was like, I felt comfortable. And then he said, nobody's going to understand your accent anyway. That's him over there. Ironically though, that was very comforting because I knew I can make everything up and you guys wouldn't understand anything anymore. So here we go, some heads up, I'm just saying. So we are planning for that open house, and then my supervisor came to me and she said, Walid, I'm gonna have you give the first presentation. I was like, what is the presentation is gonna be about? Is it like an info session? She's like, no, you are gonna talk about the 10 things people can do during that day in Farmville. When she said that, I kinda had a smile. And I had a smile because a year ago, when I was thinking about moving here, my fiancée came to me, she's like, hey, I got a job in Virginia, and we're moving to, I got a job at Longwood. I was like, where is Longwood? And she's like, in Farmville. I was like, I play that game. She's like, no. She's like, not that game. She's like, not that game. I was like, so I did my research. I was like, so do they have like a Walmart in there? Like, what does it look like? Do they have a lot of farms? Are we gonna live it on one? Because I can bring my cowboy hat. She's like, no, it's not that. And then I was like, but that took me a while back, 5 years ago when I moved to the US, and I went to school in South Dakota. So when I was meeting with people, and they was like, hey, you got an accent, where are you from? I say, I'm from Egypt. And they'd be like, oh, so you guys have a lot of camels. So you must like go to work riding your camel. So I look at them and I'm not sure if they are serious or joking. Yeah, and then I'd be like, yes, but it's too difficult to find parking. That is really true, that happened. Another time when someone asked me, hey, you got an accent, where are you from? I said, I'm from Egypt, and they'd be like, so, and she didn't say anything that time. That lady, I remember her very well. All she did was this. And then I'm asking, I was like, should I say something now, like what that is? And she looked at me and she saw all question mark all over my face. And she's like, you haven't seen the music video, Walk Like an Egyptian? I was like, no ma'am, I have never seen it, or I have never seen an Egyptian walking that way in my life. and I lived there my entire life. So let's get started. So 10 things you can do in Farmville. So we have a variety of restaurants actually you can choose from. So if you are like if you like Mexican food, we have Mexican places here. If you are like into Asian food, we have Asian places here as well. So as you can see here on the screen, so we have here Charlie. This is more like a steak place you can try from, you can eat from. We have here Al Patron. We have 119. This is a very nice taco place. What else we got here? And we got Mackie Lou's. Mackie Lou's, they have the best burgers in town. Let me tell you that. So you can build your own burger and you can get some sweet fries with it. It's the bomb, let me tell you. And then all the restaurants you're looking at now, they are all within a walking distance from the campus here. So it's pretty convenient for the students, except for the Fish and Pig, which it's about 10 minutes drive from here, but it's really awesome too because they have very, very nice barbecue. And I would highly recommend you to try it today. Still, we have a variety of different places here in Farmville. So one of them is Shogun. So Shogun is like hibachi and sushi place. Again, if you like Asian food, that would be the place for you to go. If you're looking like for soul food, I would say go to Granny B or Riverside Cafe. Also, we have here, I just heard about that place I have never been to. It's called Mama Crockett. So Mama Crockett is a truck that sells donuts, but they have a page on Facebook, so it will tell you before they come. Like they will make the announcement, which is pretty cool as well. If you never tried, I should go there. And we also have like wine tasting places. We have brewery. We have the Third Street. They have like different kind of beers and stuff, and they have music at night as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit about adventure here. A lot of people like to do the outdoor stuff. Most of the students like to do things outside. So we have a lot of different places here. You can do very, very like outside activities. So we have the High Bridge Trail. You can bike, you can walk your dog, you can take a jog, you can run, you can do whatever you like. We also have the Sandy River here. And by the Sandy River, you can do like canoe, kayaking. We also have like the zip lining you can do as well. If you're afraid of heights like me, I would recommend it. I tried it once and I was like stuck like that holding the rope. So, but it's pretty cool for a lot of people. Release your inner artist here. So Mildy Clay is, they have like the offer pottery classes, so you can learn, actually you can go like as a couple or something, or bring your students and take some classes and you can create your own stuff. And then here they have the Red Door 104. This is like for painting classes as well. And as you can see there, the whole team of admission went there and they painted the stuff without me. So apparently I'm not that artistic. So. But it's okay. So students, when they come, they do a lot of classes over there, which is pretty cool. Number 5, support our Division 1 team. So we started competing in the Big South Conference in 2012, but we are Division 1 school. We joined in 2017. So we are so big on sports. We have 6 sports for men and 8 sports for women. An interesting fact about our tennis team for men and women, they are pretty much all international students. Somehow they are very good at tennis. And another interesting fact about our softball team, they won the whole Big South Conference in 2015, 16, 17, 18, they placed second, we're gonna skip that one, and then 19, they won it back again. So here we go. One more thing you can do is all those games are free for the students. So if you feel like you want to do something in the weekend, we have a lot of games, and you can cheer on our Division 1 team. All right, get historical. Longwood is very, very rich with history and traditions. And Emily is going to be talking to you a little bit about the traditions we have here and a little bit about our history as well. But part of why we're so rich with history is because the town we are in, Farmville. Farmville is very, very rich with history. It's the birthplace for the Civil Rights Revolution, so it started here actually. And I heard that also some of the battles, the very last battles of the Civil War actually ended about 30 minutes away from here. So if you would like to learn more about that, I would highly recommend you to go to the Motor Museum. It's pretty much on the other side of campus, and there's a lot of stuff you can learn from there. So join us, number 7, join us for Longwood Farmville Traditions. So we have a lot of events that we bring the community to come and actually share it with us. We have here the Heart of Virginia Festival that happens every year in May, and it pretty much all over Longwood it will be like on High Street, and the whole community will come, and there's a lot of fun activities. So there's like music and stuff, and you can try different kind of food. And also we have here a lot of traditions. So this past weekend actually we had our Oktoberfest. So we have two very big festivals, Oktoberfest and Spring Weekend Festival. So Oktoberfest, the fest kicks out by like a bonfire. So the dean of the students will bring students around him, and there's a bonfire, and he will reveal very old history and tradition about the school. And then later on, there's the color war, where you'll be two teams. We'll divide the students into two teams. So if you're gonna graduate on an odd number, it will be the color green. If you're gonna graduate on an even number, it will be the color red. And then we'll give you a white t-shirt and paint, and you start the war. So this is how it works. It's pretty cool. Disclaimer for the parents: if the paint got in the kids' eyes, it's not gonna hurt them. Good. And also we have live music. So I remember this past weekend we invited a very famous musician. I did not know about him personally, but he's very famous. His name is Waka Flocka. You guys know what I'm talking about? Here we go. Yep. And also, I remember one year we had like Taylor Swift. One year we had J. Cole. So we bring famous people to campus for our students to enjoy the music as well. And also we have the spring weekend. So spring weekend. So it kicks out by like an oozball, so it's like a volleyball tournament in the mud. So it cannot get any mischief than that, pretty much. So you can form your own team and you can just compete against each other. All right, number 8 is bowl on a budget. So just for you, we have bowling in here, in case you were asking. And every Thursday, ladies can bowl for free. So it's free for all the ladies on Thursday. And they have a lot of discounts for all the students here. Like pretty much every place here in town, if you say I'm a Longwood student, they will give you a discount. And also we have a movie theater in here as well, and they have also discounts for the students as well. Let's keep going. Sorry, I skipped one by mistake. So number 9, lend a helping hand. We are very big on community service. So there's one of the programs we have here is called Alternative Breaks, where our students actually, they spend their breaks doing something for the community. Like I remember Kiara actually, she graduated from here, so she was talking to me about, she spent one of the breaks with the school here. They went to Texas to help with the hurricane reliefs. It was Harvey it's called. Yeah, so they do a lot of stuff. Our students do a lot of stuff for the community. We try to give part of Longwood to the community as well. And also we have a very nice initiative here. It's called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. It's kind of like to spread awareness about like sexual assault and stuff. So our students, pretty much males, they wear high heels and they walk a mile, kind of to spread awareness about the issue, which is pretty cool. And also we have like Reliance for Lives to like fundraiser for like cancer survivors and people going through like tough time, to tell them that we are here for you and we support you as well. And then number 10, which is the most important one, go to Longwood, y'all. So yeah, we have a lot of traditions here. We have a lot of activities going on. We have more than 175 clubs and organizations. Pretty much anything you can think of, we have it. Like I remember when I first started and I was going over the list of the clubs and organizations we have, and I'd be like, Quidditch Club for Harry Potter fans. I was like, what do they even do? Like, do you have a promise stick and they fly like, on campus? Like, I didn't know, but we have any clubs you can think of. And I always say to the students that go over the clubs and organizations. If you couldn't find anything, all it takes is 8 other students and you can start your own club and get funding to host events on campus as well. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you so much for coming.
Hey guys, how are you? Wonderful. Hey, Shad. So go ahead, take your phones out for me. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We have the same name. I'm saying this because I run all of our social media for admission, so I'm putting in that shameless plug. Take it out, take a screenshot. So I know you guys won't get to see a whole lot of students today on campus because yes, it is fall break. But today is a great depiction of what our weather's like. As you can see, I have a short sleeve shirt on, my winter jacket, and my fall boots because our boss texted us last night and she's like, okay, everybody get ready. 7 a.m. we're gonna have winter weather. 9 a.m. we're moving to spring. 12 it's gonna be like summer, and then 2 p.m. fall. So dress accordingly. And I was like, but how? So I did. I have like the winter, the spring, the fall, so I tried my best. So you will get a great idea of what the weather's going to be like. You will experience all 4 seasons in a day. But I'm going to talk about what a Lancer looks like in a second. All right, so raise your hand if you've ever been to Longwood before. All right, now raise your hand if this is your first time ever on campus. Wonderful. Oh, okay, new people. All right, wonderful. Raise your hand if you're an alum. Let me see the alums. Woo! Okay, so you guys are going to see a lot of new things that we have going on today. New construction, new things that we offer, programs we've added and taken away. But this is what we look like right now. So we're about 4,500 students, undergrad, and then about 500 grad students. Founded in 1839. Your student-faculty ratio is going to be 14-1. What that boils down to is that you will have small class sizes. I'm getting caught in the plant. Let me get away from that. You know your professors, they know you on a very personal level. So if you leave class and you're like, I'm not really sure what we talked about, just know that they have your back. They're wonderful about being able to meet with you, making time for you. So that's what those small classes can do for you. So your average class is going to be about 21 students. 95% of our classes, though, are less than 30 students anyway. So when we're talking about male-to-female ratio, we're about 70% female and 30% male. And then about 26% of our students identify as ethnically diverse. We have about 28% of our students that are first generation. And what that means is they are the first person in their family to go to college or to finish a degree. Then you have about 26% of our students that are Pell eligible. Pell is a Pell grant, and that comes from our financial aid office. We'll go over different need-based aid versus merit-based aid, so that'll give you kind of a screenshot of what that looks like as well. So as Wally was talking about, we are a D1 school, part of the Big South Conference. Everything listed here is what we offer on the D1 level. If you are not interested in playing on the D1 level, though, have no fear. We have club level sports and then intramural sports. Club level is going to be like playing on the high school level. You will still try out for the team, you'll still travel, and you'll compete against JMU club softball, Virginia Tech club wrestling. So it'll be like that level of commitment. Then you have intramural. This is show up, come as you are, no experience needed at all. So you can get involved in sports at a various level of commitment levels. Hold on. All right, so Laser Life, like he was talking about, 175 plus ways to get involved. When I talk to my students in the schools, I send them an email after I leave, and it's got links to financial aid and admissions and dining options and residence hall options, but I always hit this point. I say, if you don't learn anything else from today, please go to the link that I send you that says 175 plus ways to get involved. Because I know that it's number one that you want to get your education here, and you want to know that, yes, we have your field of study. But what do we have to offer that you love other than studying? You are living here. This is your new home. So you want to know that we have something that you're passionate about. But if we don't, here's the reason we have an excessive amount of clubs on campus. It only takes 8 people total to create a club or organization of your own. And I tell my students this all the time too. I want you to come to Longwood. You should come to Longwood. Come to Longwood. But if you don't, there will be 7 other people on that campus that have the same interests and passions as you. You will find that. So don't worry about finding that when you come here, because that will happen. I had a person say, well, I just like to sleep a lot. And I was like, well, create a sleep club. I'm sure we don't have one, but go ahead and create it. I mean, it's that, you can do anything. She was like, I just sleep. I'm like, okay, me too. So. Okay, there we go. All right, so the global classroom. While you are at Longwood, you will either do an internship, a research study, or you will study abroad, or any combination of the 3. For an internship, this will pertain to your major, hopefully. It also can be a great predictor of whether or not you really love your major. When I was in college, I did an internship. My major was communications, and my concentration was digital media. And so when I went to do the internship, I did it at ESPN Radio, and I loved it. I fell in love with the people, but I didn't like the actual work that I was doing. So I was like, okay, if I'm at ESPN and I'm loving life, but I don't like the actual stuff I'm doing, I love the people and the atmosphere, let's go back to the drawing board. So I changed my concentration to public relations. I did an internship in that area, and I fell in love with it, the work that I was doing, and I knew that that was the right path for me. Internships can be on campus or off campus. Over the summer, you will get an advisor once you get here. So when you're talking about internships, they will be your guide as to where should I go, where do I want to get my foot in the door. If you have no idea where you want to go, that's fine too. And I tell people we do all scales of internships, anything from local Farmville PD all the way up to the FBI. So nothing is too big or too small. We want to get you in the just right fit when it comes to the internships. Research studies. Now, a lot of people are like, well, if I do a research study, I have to be a science major of some sort, don't I? No. Any major can conduct a research study, and you will actually have the opportunity to present your findings. Some of our students actually have their works published at the end. So don't feel like you have to be in a science-based major to be able to do a research project. And then study abroad. This is my favorite thing to talk about. They go all over the world to places that we have determined that are safe for you. You can go anywhere from 2 weeks to an entire semester abroad. Summer programs, winter break programs. So that's a really big deal. I encourage you to study abroad at any point in time because a little piece of advice, when you graduate and you start a job, your boss won't tell you to take off for 6 weeks and just go see Italy. So do it while you can. But can I go to Italy for 6 weeks? No. Okay, see, I told you. All right, so abroad experiences. This is something I want to talk about that makes us very different because this is not study abroad, but it's kind of like it. So these are programs that take place within the United States, okay? And our students go to various areas in the country, and they study the current issues that are affecting that area. So they do the research, and that's what their whole entire time is kind of based off of, is studying, what is affecting the area that they're visiting at that point. So those are mini study abroad trips, is how I describe them. But again, they're all within the U.S., and instead of focusing on one particular class, you are studying an issue. Let's talk about dual degree in engineering because this is a program that's pretty different from a lot of our other ones. We have a 5-year program, 3 years with Longwood, and then 2 years with either ODU, Virginia Tech, or UVA. And it's our physics and engineering dual degree program. So you will have either 2 bachelor's degrees in physics and engineering or 1 bachelor's in physics and your master's in engineering. Just know that that's a program that we offer. And if you're interested in learning more, please let one of us know. Call me Mr. Men instructing students toward effective role models. This is for men who are going into the teaching force. This is something that we point out because not a lot of men are going into the education force. So this is how this kind of came about. This is it also comes with scholarship opportunities. I do want to let you know that. It comes with scholarship opportunities. So if you want to be a teacher and you're a male, please talk to me and we'll talk about this. The Honors College. So the Honors College is something that we offer here on campus. It's almost like being in an honors track in your high school. It's not harder work, it's different work, if that makes sense. But here are a couple of things that come along with it. Scholarship opportunities. And I hit this point really hard because when you are offered something that comes with the word scholarship, that means free money. That means you're not paying it back. There's no loans, there's no interest. So yes, you are being rewarded for hard work or for keeping your grades up. So yes, it's a trade-off, but it's definitely worth the work that you're putting in. You get priority class registration, so you'll be able to register for classes before other people. I think when the seniors register, is that right? The Honors College can register too? Yes. Living Learning Community, study abroad funding. So one of the requirements of the Honors College is that you have to study abroad. They don't tell you how long you have to go away. They don't tell you where you have to go or what you have to study. The requirement is just that. You have to study abroad. But with that requirement, they help you kind of make that financially happen. They're not going to say, hey, this is a requirement and good luck. So just know they'll help you out. Free printing. This may not seem like a big deal, but it is. When you figure out that you have to pay for printing somewhere, you're like, wait, I'm paying for paper and ink on it? And okay. So anyway, free printing is a big deal. And additional research opportunities and funding. Become a Lancer. How many of you guys have already applied? Nice. I need more. I need more than that, okay? Just know that you can apply today too, for free. I hope it's for free. I just said that. So I just promised free applications for everyone. I think it's for free anyway, but if not, it is now. Okay. Yeah, it is. I think it is. Okay. So, we were not always a part of the Common App, but we are now. Now, I will say, our application is a little bit simpler. You go on our website, hit apply, and it's a fill-in-the-blank application. But if you're already on the Common App, please add us to your list of schools, and you can apply that way as well. Here's how you do that. You'll apply either Common App or our website, submit your $50 application fee, but that doesn't apply to you guys anymore because I just made it free. So, you will upload or self-report your transcript. So either you can upload a picture of your transcript or you can self-report. And what this means is you will go through all of your classes, 9th grade, Algebra 1, C+, 10th grade, geometry. So you go through all of your classes that you've taken so far, and you put the grades. Now, if you got a D in Algebra 2, don't put you got an A, because we won't catch that at first, but when we have to have your real transcript, we'll see that you got a D and not an A. So, again, say the right grades. Let's see, and that's complete, yes. All right, so here are the deadlines. If you apply today, which you should, you have to worry about 0 deadlines. Now, all my nursing students, you have to apply by December 2nd, no matter what. This is the final deadline for nursing, so the earlier the better. What a complete application means is that you have applied, you've either paid your fee or you've had it waived. You have submitted your transcript and a test score. It doesn't matter if it's an SAT or ACT, it just has to be one. If you submit multiple, we will super score your test scores for you. For the nursing complete, you also have to have an essay, and that portion is in the application. You can either put it in the application right then, or you can save the application where it is, go somewhere else in Microsoft Word, do your essay, have somebody proofread it, and then plug it back in and submit it. And then if you do early decision is only available to our nursing students. Depending on what schools you're looking at, their deadlines could all mean different things. So early decision for us means only nursing students are eligible for this deadline. It is a binding contract. So for this, they turn in an agreement saying, basically, if I get into Longwood, I am coming. Otherwise, early action is their last deadline, and that's the deadline you guys want to go for too. For a number of reasons, it's non-binding, okay? So if you want to be a nursing major, but you're not really sure if Longwood is 100% the place for you, apply for early action. Everybody else you should apply because, again, it's non-binding. You get your decision by February. And when it comes to scholarships, you have a better opportunity of being awarded the higher end of the amount that you're eligible for if you apply by that date. Afterwards, it's kind of whatever we have left in the lower end of the amount that you're eligible for scholarships. March 2nd is the end date. And again, we don't give you a date that we guarantee your decision by. We don't have any scholarship guarantees at all. So December 2nd, just do it. This is what we're kind of looking like as far as the GPA range, SAT, and ACT. Now, I hate telling people these numbers because we honestly take a 100% holistic view when it comes to applications. We are reading your applications. We are humans. So, you could have a 4.0 and took fluff classes, if that makes sense. Or you could have a 2.9 and you were really busting your tail. You were taking AP or IP or dual enrollment classes. We look at the opportunities that your school provides, and are you taking advantage of those opportunities? How well are you doing in those classes? So yes, we would like for you to fall within these ranges, but if not, please don't freak out. We don't require an essay for anybody except for the nursing majors, but it could be one of the reasons that we say, they might not fit right within the numbers, but here's what the essay says. And maybe you'll take that time to explain your grades, or you're not a good test taker, or something that changed you. Anything that you want to tell us, use your essay to do that. There's no topic limit, there's no word requirement, no page requirement, so use that to tell us anything that you want. Letters of recommendation are wonderful too, 1 to 3 maximum. We love to see those as well. And you guys can take pictures of any of these slides if you want to. You want me to go back? You can take a picture of that, anybody? Take your phones out. I get this injury, so phones are a big deal. Cool. So this is what you guys are looking at for tuition, room, board, dining options, all of it rolled in together. And this is also with no merit-based or need-based aid awarded. This is the maximum you'll probably be paying. Now, we have banded tuition. What that means is if you take between 12 and 18 credit hours per year, your tuition is the same. Sorry, per semester, not per year. Your tuition is the same. So if you can take upwards of 18, please do that. After 18 credits, you'll pay by the credit. And below 12 credits, you're a part-time student. It makes you not a full-time student. But anywhere between there, your tuition is going to be the same. Now, you guys got to see a showroom, but you can also look at all of our residence halls online. Pictures, videos. It shows you the different furniture we have. But I encourage you to do that because they're all going to be about the same. But you do get to preference where you want to live when it comes to housing. You get to go 1 all the way to 9 or 10. And our housing tries to get you within one of your top 3 choices. So look at everything so that you have a good idea of, all right, I want a preference 1, 2, and 3 as my top choices. So you can get a really good idea of where you could land. Scholarships. So let's talk about the merit-based scholarships that you were eligible for. These are all the different scholarships and the requirements and the deadlines and what you could be awarded. So in addition to these, though, again, take a picture of these because, there you go, let me get out of the way. In addition to these, the Honors College, they award scholarships as well. You can stack them with ours. And then athletic scholarships, those are for D1 athletes. So if you come here and you're playing a D1 sport, you are eligible for having athletic scholarships awarded to you. Minimum 3.0 GPA. And we do not look at your test score for these. So while we have to have a test score for admission purposes, We do not base your merit-based scholarships off of test scores at all. It is solely based on your GPA. And again, minimum of 3.0 to be awarded and above. You got your pictures? Okay. FAFSA. This is a big deal. So all of your, am I talking about this too? Yeah? Okay. All of your need-based aid is going to be based off your FAFSA. It's not fun to fill out. It's a pain. It's tedious. But it's due by March 1st, and it opened on October 1st. Do it as fast as you can. Turn it in so that you know you can get everything that the FAFSA says that you are eligible for. So merit-based aid is going to come from scholarships from us, or honors, or if you're a D1 athlete. Need-based aid is all based off the FAFSA, and it comes from our financial aid office. So merit-based is admissions, or honors, or athletics. And need-based is financial aid. And if you submit by December 1st, you're entered into a drawing to receive a 1-year housing waiver. Free housing for a year. Wonderful. So that's a big deal. Submit by December 1st. And that's our financial aid information in the bottom right there. Every FAFSA, every school has a different FAFSA code, but if you don't remember this, there's always a drop-down box where you could choose us, Longwood University, and have your info sent to our office. So now what? You complete your application, you upload your high school transcript, or you self-report your grades, receive your admission decision, submit your FAFSA, check your personal email for important information. Now, we email you a lot, but if you allow us to text you, we will, because that's the only thing you guys answer anymore, okay? You don't answer your phones, you don't answer your emails, but you will answer a text message. So if you say that we can text you, we may reach out to you via text as well, but personal email is usually going to be the #1 form of communication. Check that as much as you can. Claim your spot. So once you get your decision, you have until May 1st of next year to let us know. Now, if you want to let us know today and pay that deposit, you are more than welcome to. Please do. But you have until May 1st to do so. Questions. This is all of our admissions info at the top. And then again, our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook information. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram, because one of my goals for the year is to boost the follower rate, so you'll be helping me, and I'll help you because you're helping me. So please follow us, okay? Take a picture. You guys got it? Still got some phones out, okay. My phone better be buzzing like 20 times for followers right now. All right, and that's our text number at the bottom again. Tweet at us. Again, I have it with me all day. I'll tweet back at you, hopefully. Any questions about anything we talked about? Was that perfect? I went over. Yeah, thank you so much. Who's next? Kahoot? Yeah? Okay. Here's Cheyenne.
Hello. I'm back again. Everybody still with me? Just reach your one arm up. Doesn't matter left or right, right? Just go ahead and reach your arm up. Yes, everyone, yes. Raise them to the sky. One arm. Just reach over, Swing back and forth, side to side. We just want to get you moving. You've been sitting here for a while, but I promise the next part is going to be super fun because I'm also fun in the office. So, we're going to go back a little bit. I also forgot to mention that I am a regional counselor, so I actually live in Chesapeake, Virginia. So I'm super accessible. So if you ever wanted to talk about financial aid, if you wanted to talk about your application, if you need help submitting it, I can definitely do that for you. I just met with a family on Friday at a Starbucks where we talked about transfer stuff. We mapped out a whole next semester at Thomas Nelson Community College. So if you ever need any of that help, definitely let me know. So I'm a phone-friendly person. So if everyone can pull out their phone and go to the internet. So we are going to play, yes, I hear, yes, we shall. So if you can just go ahead and enter this game pin. We're going to talk about financial aid, but in a fun way. So go ahead and enter it. So you go to kahoot.it, and then you're just going to enter in that game pin. And go ahead, and your names will pop up on here, so please be respectful with the names that you're entering. You can play as a family, you can play solo dolo, whatever you want to do is what we shall work with. Let's look at the names. Oh, they're getting fast. We'll give you all a few more minutes to get into the Kahoot. Few more minutes. Beyonce's Life. She is live. Beyonce is live. Shout out to the Deltas in the room. Hey, Soror. I saw that DST up there. Okay, so everybody in? Everybody in? Anybody need, if you need a few more minutes, just raise your hand. Okay, we got a few more people. This person, y'all are funny. I love it. I get giggles all the time on these names. Okay, are we good? Are we good? A few more people? Need a little more time? A little more time? Okay, okay. So funny. Okay, Longwood, sweetie, you better rep for Longwood. You better. Are we, is this, I think this is everyone. So Amanda is going to be helping me out in the back. Raise your hand, Amanda. She's back there. Thank you, Amanda. She set up all this for us, all of our audio-visual stuff. So, first question. What is financial aid? So if everyone isn't familiar with Kahoot, so you're going to go ahead and select the correct answer, but it is based on like time in reference to how many points you get. So the faster you go, the faster you are more likely to win. And for this game, we do have a prize for the winner. So, okie dokie. Has everyone entered? Everyone answered? Okie dokie. So, it looks like most people got it correct. So financial aid is is financial assistance for educational expenses. So it's not just those particular things. It's definitely not free money. Free money is included. And we do offer financial advising. Brittany from our financial aid office is here with us in the front. She'll answer a few questions if you have any questions regarding financial aid once we're finished. And we do help you in reference to budgeting, but it's not the FAFSA is not a budget aid for you. It's simply a way for you to get financial assistance for educational expenses. So Rosie, where are you going? Hey, you know your stuff. Okay. Shout out to everybody. Keep playing. As I mentioned again, the faster you answer the question, the more points you will get. So get those fingers ready. I know y'all be texting all the time. How can I receive financial aid? So, oh, yeah, yes, fast. Is this an easy question? Easy question? No? Oh, okay. So a few more seconds. Get those answers in. Everybody in? Okie dokie. So in order to receive financial aid, you just need to complete your FAFSA. So a lot of people think, oh, I have to apply for admission at that university before I can submit my FAFSA. You do not have to. So any schools that you're interested in applying to, when you do work on your FAFSA, being that it is open now, go ahead and add all the schools you believe you're interested in. You do not have to wait until you actually submit your application for admission. Oh, okie dokie. When is my FAFSA due? This is a little bit of a trick question, but it depends. This one's tripping a few of you up. I see. Okay. Everybody answer? We're still answering? Okie dokie. So, yeah. So for the FAFSA, different institutions have different FAFSA deadlines. So for us, as Emily mentioned within her presentation portion, March 1st is our deadline here at Longwood University, but those deadlines do vary. So it's important that when you're applying to institutions and you know what schools you're interested in addition to checking the application deadlines for admission, you're also checking those FAFSA deadlines as well. Elizabeth, you're moving up there, Elizabeth, I see you. Ludicrous? That's so cute. So, next question. How much does it cost to submit your FAFSA? How much does it cost to submit that thing? Few more seconds. I think everyone's in. So, I thought this was going to trick a few of you. You all are smart. You're a smart group. I enjoy it. So to submit your FAFSA, it is free. So the name of it is the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Free. So if you're on a website and they're saying, hey, we're going to charge you $75.99 to submit your FAFSA. Danger, danger, danger. Scammer, scammer, scammer. Do not submit any of your personal information or your family's personal information or anything, your social security number. Don't submit anything on that website because they're scamming, and we don't support scammers around here. So it's free. You shouldn't have to pay anything. Ludacris, moving up. I see you, Katie. Is it Celicia? I see you. I see you, Celicia. Okay. So next question. How often should I complete my FAFSA? How often should you submit that thing? How often? How often? All the answers in? You can still win this thing. Hang in there. You can still win. So, yeah. Y'all are smart. Y'all are smart. Okay, so you're going to submit your FAFSA each year. So if you're planning on taking any collegiate credit hours that following year, whether you're wrapping up your spring semester or your summer semester, it's going to be important for you to submit that FAFSA. So it's not just during your freshman year or before you start college. You have to submit it each year. Ludacris, hold down before. Where are you, Ludacris? Where are you? Oh, I see you. I see you. Okay, what information is needed to submit the 2020-2021 FAFSA? This might be a little bit of a trick question. A little bit of a trick question. Oh, are you laughing? You like my options? Those are funny. So, everybody in? A few more people? A few more people? A few more people? So, in order to submit your 2020-2021 FAFSA, you need to submit your 2018 tax information. So we don't care about your blood type, we don't care about your family, ancestral information. And in reference to the 2019 tax information, which you probably just filed, we're not going to really need that information. So 2020, 2021, your 2018 information. This is sometimes a little bit different for my parents. If you have students who are already in college, you all may have done it differently. But with the new FAFSA and the way that is operating, you're going to submit your tax information from pretty much 2 years prior to that year. And that's because we're pretty much sure you submitted and filed your taxes at that point. So for the 2020-2021 FAFSA, you're going to submit your 2018 tax information. So for all of my seniors in the room, this is for you. So when you're preparing for college and that next year, you're going to need to submit your parents' 2018 tax information and your tax information if you worked in a job as well. Yams, that dude, I see you all coming up. Okay, so 3 more questions. Do I have to apply for admission to Longwood before submitting my FAFSA? This is just yes or no, so it should be pretty quick. I kind of already gave away the answer if you're paying attention. You're with me. Everybody in? A few more answers coming in. So, oops, where is it? Did it freeze? Oh, how do I go back? Well, so the answer is no. I think I skipped past it. So you do not have to submit your application to Longwood before submitting your FAFSA to us. As I mentioned, if you're a senior and you're preparing for your, next semester in reference to college, go ahead and submit your application to all the schools that you think you might be interested in. You can submit it to up to 10 schools, I believe. I'm not sure what happens if you're interested in more than 10 schools. But yeah, up to 10 schools, and you don't have to submit your application in order to, you don't have to submit your application to the school to submit your FAFSA. Is that right? There we go. Number 8, question 8. So, what are the forms of aid, forms of financial aid? I think our suite number was about 150, so that's what I'm looking for. A few more answers. Oh, we got 151 this room. Okay. So, y'all are I'm so proud. Y'all are so smart. Y'all are so smart. So, there are multiple forms of financial aid. So financial aid is not just loans, it's not just grants, it's a multitude of things. So primarily it's the form of grants, work study, and loans. So those are the main three options that you're typically going to be awarded with your financial aid or the financial package that you'll receive from the institutions that you submit your FAFSA to. Okie dokie. 3 in a row. Sean is back in the game. I see you all. Okay, 2 more questions. How will I know what types of aid I am eligible for? Get those thumbs moving. Who will be in first place after this? We shall see. So this is a little bit of a trick question for you all. So, when you're submitting your FAFSA to the institutions, once you're offered admission at that institution, they'll then send you your financial aid package, which is pretty much what they've offered you. So your high school counselor, we're not really going to have we're not in cahoots with them pretty much after you've been offered admission. So we're not going to have much connection to that. And in reference to your bill, that's not until you enroll at the institution, but you got to know what we're offering you before you enroll. So for us, your financial aid package will be sent to you via mail. We also will send you an email notification saying, hey, your FAFSA is ready. So you can go into the My Longwood portal if you set up your Lanternet ID and password and view that information as well. Okie dokie. Mommy D, you're making a comeback. That dude, you've slid into first place. Final question. Get ready. Do I have to accept everything I am offered? Quick answers. Okay. Any more answers? So, of course, you do not have to submit or accept everything that we're offering you within your financial aid package. We will not be offended if you say, hey, I don't think I want to do work study my freshman year. I think I want to focus primarily on my academics. I'm not really ready to be working and going to school full time. That's totally fine. If we offered you a loan and you're like, I'm not really interested in that loan right now, or I don't think it would be useful, it'll kind of just be extra money, that's totally fine as well. So you do not have to accept everything that you're offered. Now what we do is we go ahead and accept your grants for you. We assume that you want the free money, right? But in reference to the loans and the work study, that is totally optional. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Brittany on up to the stage. She can introduce herself. Who's Brittany? Let's give her a round of applause. She's a hardworking woman.
Hello, like Cheyenne said, my name is Brittany. I work in the financial aid office at Longwood, so I'm sure there are many questions for me in our office, but I can go ahead and take maybe 2 questions. You guys might have some really good questions that everyone would kind of like to hear at one time. Anything?
Any questions? Any questions? No? Nothing for the good of the...
Are we shy?
That means the Kahoot was very informative.
It was very good. I must agree. Okay. Oh, okay, in the back, go ahead.
How long after the admissions decision do you mail out the translation?
All right, so we're hoping to send them out by mid-February. So go ahead and file your FAFSA now. There's a waiting period or whatnot. By mid-February, you should have something in the mail. That financial aid package is going to give you everything that you could possibly need about the financial aid that is being offered. Keep in mind, sometimes people are a little shy about submitting the FAFSA because they feel like they may not be eligible for need-based aid. Keep in mind, to receive federal loans, you have to submit your FAFSA. So please go ahead and submit it regardless of what you feel the outcome would be. You might be surprised. Yes, ma'am?
Is there a separate application for the merit-based scholarship?
No.
No, ma'am. No, there is not. So once you submit your application for admission by December 2nd, you're automatically eligible for the merit-based scholarships that we offer through admissions. Now, if you're interested in honors scholarships, then you have to be invited to apply to the Cormier Honors College, and that is an additional process. But for all students who are submitting their application by December 2nd, you're automatically eligible for our merit-based scholarships. Anything else?
Anything else, you guys? Yes, sir.
Put things together. You keep stressing early action December 2nd. You say, hurry up and fill out the FAFSA. You say, get that application even today. So I give you the transcript, I give you the scores. Everything is now in your hands. I fill out the FAFSA. They're pretty quick in processing it. What advantage is there to do that or to wait another month? Because it seems you do not make any action or any consideration towards admission or scholarship until you've got all the applications in on December 2nd as the date.
So for us, we actually are a rolling admission school. So if a student submits their application today, they're not going to have to wait until December 2nd to hear from us. They'll typically hear from us within a month in reference to what their admission decision is.
Someone has already filled out an application, has already done the FAFSA, has given you all the information. They do not have to wait until November.
So for the FAFSA in particular, that's the free application for federal student aid. So that package doesn't come out until February. Now, in reference to if you've been offered admission to the university, you'll know that information well in advance. The true benefit of doing it early is simply not having to worry about it. You know the information has been submitted. The earlier you submit things, it's kind of like the early bird gets the worm. Sure.
You stated rolling admissions, you only put it on the March deadline. In the December 2nd early action, you did not say rolling admissions, you said February decision.
So the reason why it's marked rolling admissions on March 2nd is because that's not really a priority deadline. So in reference to what they actually mean, December 2nd is early action, but it is rolling admission. Our first round of letters just went out last week, and those were students who submitted their application during the summer or during the month of September, early October. So you're not going to have to wait until February to even hear from admission. We send the letters out every week from here on out. You're welcome. So I think Brittany has to slide off, and we have to transition into the panel, but she'll also be in the SOSA ballroom. So where all of our academic faculty and student engagement is set up, she'll also be there, so you can ask some more questions there. Brittany, did you want to say anything in the final?
Do we have another question?
Oh, we had.
Yes.
Are merit-based scholarships per semester or per year?
They're for the year, yes, and that's handled through admissions. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Brittany. So the person under the name That Dude, if you want to come on down, we have our lovely gift for you. Oops, I dropped it. So it's a blanket. It's a little chilly this morning, but where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. So I'm going to hand it off to Erin now, who will introduce our student panelists.
What's up, everyone? How y'all feeling today? Good. Once again, my name is Aaron Sims. I will be moderating today's student panel. We conjured up a small group of students to talk about their experiences for you. Of course, I will have a select few amount of questions to ask our panelists, but of course, if you have questions, feel free to raise your hand, and we'll have our counselors in the audience with mics ready, okay? So we'll go ahead and we'll get started. I'm going to share too. So I'll introduce myself, but I'll let our panelists introduce themselves now.
Hi, I'm Austin Van Horn.
I'm James Bennett. I'm a senior and a liberal studies major.
I'm Sierra. I'm a junior and I'm a nursing major.
My name is Morgan. I'm a senior and I'm a liberal studies major.
I guess I should add I'm a junior and a history major.
Awesome. So I just want to kick it off. I want you guys to put yourselves or your mind back to where you were around this time in your senior year of high school. Why did you choose to come to Longwood University?
I chose Longwood because of the small campus feel and how it felt like a giant family at the moment I stepped on campus. I made my decision the moment I got on Main Street. I'm from Chesterfield originally. Anybody from Chesterfield? Yeah. So coming down 45 and coming over the Cumberland Bridge, I knew I was home just in a small town, and that really made all the difference. And then coming on campus and meeting my department and realizing it's a small family inside of a small family inside of a small community, it made all the difference in the world.
I'd just like to second what he said. When I came here during my tour,
the environment was one of a family and a friendly type of environment. And just spending a little bit of time here during my tour, I knew that this was the place I wanted to be. It wasn't too huge where I would get lost. It was not too small where I wouldn't get to meet new people every day. I still meet new people every day. It was just the right fit for me.
So when I came to tour Longwood, my tour guide was amazing and just made me feel so much at home. And now I'm a tour guide, which is great. And I actually got to meet him and talk to him, so that family feel what they're saying really is true. And also I came here for the nursing program. That we were just ranked tied #1 in the nation for nursing. So if you're interested in nursing, it's a great school to go. But yeah, that's me.
So I would have to agree with everybody as well. I am from Stafford County. If anybody knows where that is Northern Virginia, and it is busy, it is 95, and there's traffic all the time, and that just doesn't happen here. It's small, and it's easygoing and slow and wonderful. It's a great community. And I also came for the education program. I've always known that I want to be a teacher. The education program here is amazing. So.
Thank you for your answers. Do we have any questions from the audience at the moment? Okay, so I have a question for you all. What are some of the opportunities that Longwood has presented you with?
Longwood has presented a lot of opportunities for me. If I had to choose 3, it would be student involvement. I'm involved in a lot of clubs and organizations, especially my Greek chapter. It also has provided real-world experiences I've done several internships and now working in the admissions office. So employment, internships, and student involvement.
Wow, it's like you read my mind. Student involvement, once again, what can I say? I'm involved in many different things here on campus. Side note, there's plenty to do here on campus. Just because we might be a smaller school does not mean that there's not many things to do, but hopefully we'll touch on that later when you guys ask a question about it. Employment opportunities, I've had countless people come up to me just after seeing me talking, noticing my character, and say, hey, once you're done with your degree, look me up. I want to give you a job. And just real-world experience. Real-world experience, I had the pleasure of going into a school. I'm also a teaching major. So I went into school and I got to observe and work with students as well, and that was great.
So of course, student involvement for me as well, but also I think Longwood has given me so many opportunities to be a leader, which is something we really strive to express here at Longwood. I've had the opportunity to go to conferences, and our faculty, you get to know your faculty so much because of our small class sizes, and I get to network with them and kind of get a lot of opportunities with internships, and I'm even studying abroad in Ireland with my nursing faculty, which would be really exciting.
Longwood has provided me with an amazing opportunity to do a lot of campus outreach and community outreach. So I'm also part of the Relay for Life board, which is partnered with the American Cancer Society. So we do a huge fundraiser every year with that, and there's different community outreach around campus, like they talked about in your presentation. So we go down to Faces and just help out the community a lot, and also being a part of different clubs and organizations. So being a Longwood ambassador has been one of the most amazing parts of my journey here.
Thank you once again. I'll ask the audience again, do we have any questions? Yes, we have a question right up here. We have a mic coming for you, I'm sorry. Yeah, come on, Kira.
Hi, many of you mentioned being involved in many organizations on campus. As a parent, I want to know what the university's policy is on hazing.
Sure. Longwood is a zero-tolerance policy on hazing. Not only is it a zero-tolerance policy for the university, it's a zero-tolerance policy for the state of Virginia, and there are federal consequences as well.
Any additional questions? All right, I have another question for you all. Here at Longwood, we have a series of tradition and staple events that we host every single year. Could you describe your favorite event here at Longwood, and why is that your favorite event?
Let's see. My favorite will probably be Oktoberfest, which we just had. I'm sorry if I took one of you guys' answers. Just the fact that all the students come out onto the campus and they get involved. You know, we have bands that come, we have live music. Student groups also perform during this time. A whole bunch of hard work goes into putting on Oktoberfest, which is done, you know, by Mortarboard, which is made up of students that take their time to make sure that the student body has a successful Oktoberfest. It's just a great time where the community gets involved and we get involved. We get to spend time with a whole bunch of different people.
So mine was Oktoberfest, I'll change it. So I think one of my favorite traditions definitely is the Thanksgiving dinner that we host here at Longwood. So like around Thanksgiving time, before everybody goes home for break, they have a whole buffet for the Thanksgiving dinner. It's delicious, and you can also sign up to actually be served the Thanksgiving dinner and like come in like dressed up with all your friends. So that's really fun. It's like a cute little campus like family feel before you go home and actually celebrate Thanksgiving with your family.
So my favorite tradition would have to be Ooze Ball during spring weekend. That is put on by the Longwood Ambassadors, and it is essentially like a muddy volleyball tournament. So we dig out the pits in the volleyball courses and fill them with water and play volleyball. And it's messy but awesome and so fun during that festival.
I had to think about mine. I think my favorite is the lighting of our holiday tree in Ruffner right before winter break. Students gather around inside of the rotunda up on the second and third floors and listen to President Reevely give a quick speech about Longwood and the holidays, and then we light the tree and it lights up, and then we sing songs for the holidays all gathered around it, and it's a really, really beautiful time.
Do we have any questions from the audience? All right, well, I think I have, we have a question right up front.
Do you live on campus or off campus?
I actually live off campus and actually live in Farmville full-time. I'm a resident of Farmville now.
I have about a 30-minute commute to campus, but it's not something I regret. It's a choice that I had to make for my personal self, but living off campus, I can say there are benefits to that as well.
So I live off campus now, but freshman year I lived in Wheeler with the Honors College, and then sophomore year I moved to an off-campus Longwood apartment, so I was still part of Longwood's campus, just like in an apartment. And then junior year I decided to kind of branch off and have it's only like 5 minutes drive away.
I currently live off campus as well, actually in the same place that Sierra lives. But I did the same thing. I lived on campus in a residence hall my freshman year, and then sophomore and junior year I lived in Longwood apartment housing, and then moved to a off-campus apartment building this year, my senior year.
So I just wanted to add a quick story. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And I tell this to anyone, I tell this to students at Longwood, and I tell this to people that are considering Longwood. My freshman year, I was part of the Federal Work Study program. I'm now a head student supervisor in the dining hall, but I came in, as the lowest worker possible. Anyway, we came in early before the rest of the students so we could be trained to work in the dining hall, et cetera, et cetera. So my very first night here at Longwood, I lived in Curry on the 8th floor. It's now being remodeled. And all my hallmates decided to all pile into the elevator, get together. We didn't know each other. This was just the first day. But we all got together, and we decided to go up and down to every one of the floors. There were 10 in Curry, and just see who else was there. So I like telling that story because it just goes to show how much of a family type feeling there is at Longwood, even when you don't quite know people yet.
So my question is, what was your biggest struggle coming in as new students, and how would you advise other new students coming in to overcome those struggles?
You took my question.
I think that's a really, really good question. I would have to say time management. I'm someone who likes to get involved in everything and anything. And then at the end of the day, realizing clubs and organizations are not what are going to give me a degree. So my academic advisor sat down with me one day and said, listen, I see a lot of potential in you, but I see your grades are kind of on a verge of slipping a little bit. Can I help you at all? Like, tell me about you. And he really helped me understand that time management is the best way forward, and that doesn't mean really cutting the fat and trimming things out. It just means taking the time to make what's important to you important. And the best way to do that is keeping a planner and a calendar. I keep my phone calendar on me. I actually have 2 separate ones, and then I have a planner where I'm able to write in homework assignments and stuff. And that way I have the time to organize my day from meeting up with friends or having time for homework or studying. And it helps you get to a place where you don't have to remember to breathe. So it really helps you be able to chart out your whole week and your whole semester without feeling overwhelmed and knowing what you're doing.
Mine is just a little bit different from his. So in high school, I kind of skated through. Getting good grades wasn't too hard for me. Coming to college, it's a little bit different. I had to realize that, I have to study more. I have to apply myself just a little bit more because the work is not the same. It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit different. It really challenges you. So that was one thing. And I'm not saying that to scare you guys because I know you guys can do it. It's just, you have to apply yourself, that's all. The second thing for me was that I actually wasn't that involved when I first came to Longwood. So something that was a struggle for me was like, finding the types of groups that I wanted to be in and the types of things that I wanted to do. They were out there the whole time. It was just hard for me to find them. So the thing I would say for that is, just look up, the weekly newsletter or, talk with your friends, see what's going on campus. There's always something going on. We have plenty of organizations here. There's always something good going on. There's something that you can find to interest you.
So kind of going off that, I would say my struggle was kind of putting myself out there, even in like my residence hall or in classes and stuff, just being able to, how do I explain it? Being able to use all the resources that are given to me to become what Longwood makes us as student leaders. So just kind of using my professors as much as possible because they are here to help us. They stress coming to office hours, using all the resources that admissions has, and everything like that. Just being the best like citizen leader that I can be was kind of hard getting there. But I would say when you do finally get there, I think organizations help a lot. Ambassadors has helped me grow so much. I couldn't imagine like coming up and standing in front of you beforehand. So this is actually really nice. But
so one of the biggest things that I struggle with coming to Longwood is I am a mama's girl through and through, and I miss my mom when I came, to be frank. I got very homesick like the first couple of weeks, but the biggest thing that helped me was just finding like my home away from home, and that was with Ambassadors. I was finding like my family with them, and they kind of filled that hole that was there in my heart when I couldn't walk down the hallway to talk to my mom. I had to call her and then she wouldn't pick up, and then we'd play phone tag. It was all very hard, but you do find your temporary family when you come to Longwood and like your home away from home. Yeah.
So I have 2 questions. The first one is, are you allowed to bring your car? And the second one is, if you guys have any like Greek life and what that's like.
So my freshman year, oh wow, hello. So my freshman year, I won the lottery. So as a freshman, I was allowed to bring my car to campus. Typically, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but unless you win the lottery as a freshman, you can't bring your car.
So as a can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect. So as a freshman, freshmen technically can't have their cars on campus, but they can enter into the parking lottery. So how that works is, Cheyenne, you want to answer that?
You hear me? Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm in the back. So you can bring your car your freshman year in reference to the parking lottery, but we also have an exemption process. So if you have a car because you have braces, you have to consistently go to the dentist, or because you have a job that you work on weekends at home, or you're committed to your church, those are options for exemption. Now, if you just want to have your car for leisure, then you would have to go through the parking lottery process. But if you need to have a car for a very specific reason, Laura Rice, who's our Perkins Services Manager, is very adamant about making sure a student has everything that they need to be successful. And in some cases, that could be your car. So we do allow you to have it just, for basic leisure purposes through the parking lottery. Each year is about 200 spots that are awarded. Last year we only had about 376 students enter. So a good, about half of them were awarded the lottery. And then there are more students that go through the exemption process if they need that.
So to answer about Greek life, yes, we do. We have 3 different kinds. I'm going to talk about 2, and then I'm going to hand it over to James for the 3rd. IFC is the Interfraternal Council, and that's men's Greek life, so that's a bunch of fraternities. I'm in Gamma Psi, it's a local chapter. There's, I think, 8 different organizations a part of that. Then there's CPC, that's the College Pan-Hellenic Council, and that's women's sororities on campus, and I believe there's 7 or 6 of those, 4 of which were founded here at Longwood actually, and now they're nationwide. And before I hand it over, I just want to say going Greek was actually the best thing I chose to do. While I like to get involved in stuff, I often don't like to take a leadership position, but having a group of guys and a democratic process put faith in me to lead into certain situations by electing me to positions made all the difference and was a huge confidence boost and taught me to be a great citizen leader.
So we also have NPHC on campus, which is the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Obviously I'm a part of that. I'm part of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I am currently the only member of my chapter here on campus, but that does not deter me from still putting in the work because I believe in the principles that my fraternity has. What can I say? When I first came here, I didn't plan on going Greek at all. I'm sure not everybody plans on going Greek when they go to college. What actually convinced me was Mr. Aaron Sims over there, and because he is an alumni of this chapter of this fraternity, and his brother as well, Derek Robertson. Just the way they carried themselves, the way that they handled themselves, both while they were in work or while they were in school, they're just going around. They always carried themselves as professional men, and I can say that for individuals in other organizations in PhD as well. They carry themselves a certain type of way that they make other people gravitate towards them. And it was a decision that I will never regret and I will be grateful for the rest of my life.
Thank you so much. So that wraps up the student panel. Let's give our panelists a round of applause.